All right, so what I'd like you guys to do now, can you guys see that font size okay? All right, let me increase it then. Um, beep, boop, bop, beep. Is that okay? A little better? Okay, so please write down these 3 sample sentences for me, if you would. All right, the topic for today is called the perfect tense 1. All right, so wherever your grammar notes are, please write that at the top to keep yourself organized. Okay, and then write down these 3 sentences and the translations underneath. You need paper? Okay, so as you're writing these down, what I'd like you to do is consider the following. What is the difference between these 3 sentences? What's the main difference between these 3 sentences? The verb tense, exactly right. Okay, so if we had to put a value on each of these, kalpo musat, can everybody say that? Okay, all right, it means the innkeeper mutters. What tense would that be? Present, good. Oh, let's make that a little thicker. Okay, now, everybody repeat, kalpo musabat. All right, what tense is that one? Good, the imperfect. Nice, So Young. Okay, right, and we recognize that. Oh, wait, really? I'm sorry. I don't know, she like made eye contact with me, that's why I thought. Oh, you said it too? Okay, yeah. Yeah, I thought I saw her mouth move. I was like, wait a second. All right, and we notice that because remember, what kind of sheep go ba? Imperfect sheep. Okay, it's got that tense marker in there. All right, now repeat after me, please. Kalpo musawit. All right, it's translated as the innkeeper muttered. I think I mentioned this to you guys possibly yesterday. But what, in English, what do we call that? What tense do we call that? Yeah, just the simple past. Okay, in Latin, we call that the perfect tense. Okay. Any questions so far? Okay, let's do another example. Oops, we don't want to italicize. All right, please repeat after me. Davos servos, iubet, canes ducere. All right, now my main verb is iubet. Does anyone think they have the translation for this? So Young, what do you think? Yes. Okay, the only edit that I would make, you said to take, I'm sorry, ordered. It's present tense. Iubet is simply present. Okay, so this verb here is in the present tense. All right, now because this is a particularly long one, I'm going to do these down rather than across the page. Okay. So if I want to make iubet imperfect, how am I going to do that? What's the form? What do you think, Caitlin? Ubebot. Good. So let's do that. Let's write that. Whoops. No, stop. Okay. So now that our verb is imperfect, how is my translation going to change? What's it going to become? Jason, what do you think? How does it change now? Everything else stayed the same, but the verb is now imperfect. So, what's my translation? Did you say is ordering? Was or good. Good. Exactly right. Okay. And this example, right, this tense, like we said, is imperfect. Okay. Now, I'll give you the Latin for the next one. Whoops. All right, and you might be asking, should I be putting the macrons? Yes, because I'm providing them for you. So make sure you're writing them along with me. Okay, and if you do that, you'll start to get used to where they fall. All right, now, present imperfect. The pattern suggests that this is the perfect tense here, use it. Okay, can everybody say use it? You sit where? I sit? We all sit? Where do we sit? Not funny? Okay. All right. So how do I make this perfect? If it's the simple past, how am I going to translate this? Da was what? Ordered. Good. Now the Latin is a little different. What did he order the slaves to do? Parare cenam. Yes, to prepare dinner. Okay. Any questions so far? Okay. Let's do another example. Sorry, am I going too fast? Oh, okay. Okay.
Oh, can you maybe talk to us? Oh,
Okay. All right, now in the corner, what I'm going to do is I'm going to write some principal parts for us so that we can see kind of what's going on. Whoops. All right, does anyone know the principal parts for muso? Yep. Okay. Does anyone know the principal parts for eubeo? Okay, eubeo, eubere, iussi, iussus. Now, When conjugating a verb in the present and the imperfect tense, which principal part is key? The second one, right? Musare and ubere. No, it is ubere, okay? But if you look at the perfect forms, they look a little different, okay? What does this musawit up here, which principal part does it look the most like? The third principal part. Okay, this one is M-U-S-S-A-V, and this one is M-U-S-S-A-V. Okay, the third principal part. All right, now what about this one? You sit. Okay, which principal part does it look most like? The third principal part, right? It's I-U-S-S-I, and down here it's I-U-S-S-I-T. Okay, so with all of that being said, which principal part do you think you need to conjugate in the perfect tense? The third principal part. Okay. So far, okay? All right. May I scroll? Or are you still writing? Okay. So some basics. All right, so in Latin, the word perfectus it's an adjective. It means complete. Okay, is this ringing a bell? Did you hear me talk about this yesterday? Okay, and we know from our grammar classes that I am prefix, what does it do? What does the I am prefix do in English? Yeah. What? I've never heard inflammable before. I don't know that I've heard that. Is that actually a word? Inflammable. It doesn't sound right to me. Inflammable meaning not, can't. Oh, N, like E-N? I'm going to check that one. Okay, so here's the deal, right? There are two tenses that we're working with here. All right, there's the imperfect tense. Okay, it means not completed. All right, so in other words, all right, so the imperfect tense means not completed, and it refers to an action that was happening and continues or is repeated in past time. Okay, whereas the perfect tense means simply completed. All right, and that refers to an action that happened in past time. Okay, meaning it's finished now. Okay, it was not continued, it was just done once. All right, and that's why it's the simple past. Okay, so think imperfect tense, continuous, perfect tense, completed. Okay, that's the difference between the two. Any questions so far? Well, that's true, but I do always post the lectures, so there is that. You think I wear this for fun? Yeah. I usually don't, but if you check the daily schedule, usually the link is up, like within a day of the class. Did you try to watch it? You might have tried to watch it when, what wasn't working about it? It could have been because it was still buffering. You might have clicked it right when I uploaded it, which is possible. Do you remember when you did it?
I did it like maybe the day after.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe it was just my computer, but I need to watch it.
Okay. Okay. Still typing? I mean, still writing? Next to, if you can, like up where it says the perfect tense, if you can just write the simple past next to it like that, it's highlighted for you. Just so you kind of remember, like perfect tense, simple past in English. All right, so you remember which one's which. Super easy. Yeah. What? But you played Blookit. You should be. Okay. Now, how do we recognize the perfect tense? All right, you've got your stem, but there are some letters that are going to help us, okay? Well, actually, let's make a bullet point here. Whoops. Ends in V, S, U, or X. Okay, and you'll see what I mean when we get to some examples. Okay. So for example, like we saw before, Muso, musare, musawi, musatus, right? This one ends in a V. Do you see how that stem ends in a V? Okay, another example. Eubeo, eubere, iussi, iussus. Okay, this one ends in an S. Do you see how that stem ends in an S? Okay, let's do another one. Sorry. Okay, gemu, coming from gemo, gemere, gemui, gemitus, to groan. Okay, this one ends in a U. All right, and lastly, final example. Duco, ducere, duxi, ductus. Okay, this one ends in an X. All right, so all we're looking at here, these are examples of what we call perfect stems. All right, any questions on this so far? Okay. All right, so far is this okay? Okay. I think what I'm going to have you guys do, well, okay, let's do one big takeaway for today. How do I check if it's definitely the perfect tense? What can give me that information if I'm not sure? What do I need to look at? Okay. So the ending of the stem, yes, that'll help us, but what's going to certainly clinch that for us? Yeah, looking at the principal parts, find the third principal part, and if the word looks most like that word, then it's definitely perfect. Okay, so our takeaway, if unsure of tense, look at principal parts. Okay, if the stem looks most like the third principal part, it is probably the perfect tense. Okay, of course there are exceptions to this and we'll talk about them soon, but not right this moment. Okay. So what I'd like us to do now, in your notes continued, you don't have to write this, you can just do it. All right, so you're going to look at the chapter 19 story and you're going to see if you can locate at least a couple of perfect verbs, but I would like to do the first one together. Okay, let me know when I can move away from the screen. Yeah, I know. Okay, may I get away from the screen? Are we good? Yeah.
It's the same facial expression in every single story.
Okay. So line 1, take a look. Take a look. Line 1. Kung ti in kauponam intraverunt. Okay. Now, my verb is what? What's my verb? Intraverunt. Okay. Now, do we know the principal parts of this verb? Okay. Yeah, let me type that out so you can see it. Okay, well, let's see. So those are my principal parts. Now, the form here, okay, intraverunt, what principal part does it look most like? The third, okay? Does it have a V in it? Yeah, okay, and is that one of the markers for the perfect? Yes, okay, so this is an example of a perfect tense verb. Yep, just list them out for now. Okay, so that's the first one. But do you see how to check it though? Does that make sense? Yeah, if you don't know the principal parts, look them up, right? And that's why when I gave you guys the vocab lists in the very, very beginning, you remember Latin 1, I gave you all 4 principal parts ahead of time, right? This is why. This is one of the reasons why. I don't want you guys to have to relearn everything. Because they're provided for you, yes. Okay. Now let's take a look at line 6. Okay, servos calpos statim iussit, cenam Cornelio et Marco et Sexto parare. Okay, now, what's my main verb here? What's my main verb here? Iussit, right? Because parare is my complementary infinitive, even though it is a verb type, right? It ends in are, so that's a second principal part. Okay, so iussit, do we remember the principal parts for that one? I think you're just making up words now. Yes. Okay. Actually, I think that is a double S. Okay, eubeo, eubera, iusi, iusus. Now, the word iusit, which principal part does it look most like? The third. So and it ends in an S, right? The stem ends in an S. So what tense must this be then? Technically, it's perfect. Okay. I don't know why I said technically. It is perfect. It is perfect. I don't know why I said that. Sorry. Okay. So write that one down. Usit is a perfect verb. Okay. Now starting from line 6, well, start in line 7, I guess, onward. See if you can locate some more perfect verbs. Okay, I will do the same. I don't actually know how many there are. I'll let you know momentarily. 2. Yeah, we've got intraverunt and we've got usit. Start from line 7 onward. Yeah.
If a verb is repeated, do you want us to write anything?
Nope, if a verb is repeated, don't write it. Okay, so there should be a total of 12 perfect verbs in this story. Okay, 12 of them. Where did it go? Sorry, I just want to make a mental note so I don't forget. Okay. How many have you guys found so far? You found all 12? Really?
I'm not wrong. I think I found that total.
Okay. You have 11? Okay.
Wait, is it 12, like, including the one that's repeated?
Nope, 12 separate.
12 separate. Okay, never mind. So there should be 14 total.
Shoot. I think so. Yeah. Oh, did I miss one? There should, well, poop sticks. Should be 13 perfect verbs. I missed one. Okay. Well, let's go through. Let's go through. Okay, so we've got the first one in Trawarunt. All right, the second one we got was, where was it again? You sit. Okay, line 7. What do we got? Good. Okay. Oh my gosh, I missed a bunch. All right, are there any more in line 7? And weed it? Are you sure?
No. I think so.
Weedy.
We did.
Yeah. Okay, it's not an E, there's an I there, so that's also one of them. Okay, next line.
But if it's an I and not an E.
E, pretty much, yeah. So, like, look at the principal parts here. Come on. Okay, video, widere, weedy, wesus. Right, so it's not we det, it's we dit. See what I mean? Okay. Let's keep going. Okay, are there any in line 5, 6, 8? No. How about line 9? Line 10? It's not respondet. It's respondit. Okay. Is reprehendis one? No. Why not? It's second person singular present tense. Okay, we'll talk about why that is in a bit. And by a bit, I mean soon. Okay, what about line 11? No. Okay, you might be inclined to think that reprehend it could be one, but it's not because there's no macron. Okay, so it could be either if the text didn't do any macrons, but because this text has them, right? This is actually present tense. I'll show you another example of that. So reprehended is not one. Okay, 10, 11.
So if there isn't a macron, it can't be.
Perfect, correct. Yeah, if there's no macron, it won't be perfect. Like macron over a certain vowel. So for example, like you might have, and we have it here. Okay, line 12. Do we have one? Advenit. Explicavit.
Yeah.
That's one. Okay.
Wait, Atlantis, no.
It is. If this, right, if you see the macron right there on advenit,
Yeah.
right? If it were just this without the macron, then it would be present. But it has a macron, so therefore it's perfect. You'll learn why soon. Okay. Reprehended is not one because why? Correct. All right. How about line 14? Musawit. Good. Okay. I don't see any in 15. How about 16? Usage is repeated. How about 17? Good. Okay. Next. Okay, let's just finish this up quickly. Next. Harawerunt. Next. It's pretty far down. Kenawerunt. And lastly, Ierunt. All right, so those are all the examples of perfect verbs in this story. All right, I will be posting your homework assignment, and I'll actually do it this time. Okay, it'll be practice recognizing. Okay. No. Okay. Thanks, guys.